Monday, January 31st, 2022. Ignore the plastic. It's new furniture. It's supposed to go outside, but it's winter. Anyway, so over the weekend, our former president, I feel like put his foot in it, but I also feel like our Department of Justice isn't going to do anything about it. Yesterday, he sent out a statement, like he sends out to all his people and does this whole thing. And it says, if the vice president had absolutely no right to change the presidential election results in the Senate, despite fraud, money, or the reg, how come the Democrats are desperately trying to pass legislation that will not allow the vice president to change the results of the election? That's the whole, the bill about changing the electoral process. Actually, what they're saying is that Mike Pence did have the right to change the outcome, and now they want to take that right away. Unfortunately, he didn't exercise that power. He could have overturned the election, ! Basically admitting that what he wanted was the election results overturned by his vice president. At least enough to buy him enough time to get him to the inauguration. Right, that to me seems like a crime. He's admitting to a crime. And the day before, at a rally, he rallied the troops again and said, if he is indicted, they should take up arms and and don't let them take their country away and their freedom, which is now spelled D-U-M-B. So I think the 1-2 punch over the weekend from, ex-president Dumbdum is he should be indicted. I feel like, Merrick Garland has really dropped the ball, and he said, basically that he doesn't want to go after prior crimes, which is bullshit. It doesn't matter if you committed the crime when you were president or not, you still committed the crime. But now he's still inciting insurrection, and he's still inciting violence and promoting civil war, and admitting that he tried to steal an election. There's all of these freaking idiots from, 7 different states that were play acting as electors. You've got all that evidence going on. Like, I don't know how that, and I can see how Giuliani is going to take the fall for all of that scheme, but Jesus Christ, when do you actually go after the guy? He's basically taunting the Department of Justice to say, ha ha, nah, I'm getting away with it. It's really frustrating. And it's really frustrating to see Merrick Garland do nothing and not direct, or if he's doing it privately and saying one thing separately in public, I don't appreciate that either. Because it feels like they're all just going to get away with it. And not only does it set a horrible precedent, but it basically says that our own government really doesn't care about upholding our own democracy, which is pretty poor. In other news about dumbdumbs making statements, Joe Rogan issued like a 10-minute video. I'll admit I didn't watch the whole thing. I read about it because I don't like listening to him talk. I don't like the way he speaks. Because everything that comes out of him sort of feels like a dare. It's you know what I mean. So he admits he's a fan of Neil Young, and he feels bad that he's offended Neil Young. Admits that he doesn't do a lot of research before he has guests on, and could be doing a better job about providing, alternate viewpoints within the same segments and counterpoints. So he's going to try and do better. I think he's taking a page from the from the old Me Too handbook. I didn't know, so now I'll be better from now on. Um, and of course you knew what you were doing, you dumb dumb. Because it's all about getting the listeners. And his whole thing, his whole shtick about um, sort of baseless claims and using dumb you know I don't want to sorry overgrown frat boys, but stupid adolescent frat boy humor to try to win followers, and then but people listen to him, and so he needs to say over and over again, because he says it in this apology, that he's not one that people should take advice from, but yet he's giving advice on his show. So young people shouldn't get vaccinated. He said a whole bunch of dumb stuff. He said a whole bunch of transphobic stuff. He's a dick. And there's a whole slew of artists that have now pulled their stuff out of Spotify. So I assume that they forced him to make a statement, and they're saying that they have all these rules about what they allow on their platform, and they'll do a better job of monitoring it, blah blah blah. And I kind of want to believe them because I love Spotify. But you know what? Get the same thing from Apple Music. I just I find it all disingenuous, and like, unless he's going to do a massive turnaround, I don't see why we should believe him. But at the same time, I also feel like, oh, we can't just say everybody's unreformable. So give him a chance, I guess. See if he can do it. See what his content is like for a while. But I also feel like it's the kind of thing where someone goes on good behavior, gets themselves out of hot water, and just goes right back to doing what they're doing. So I don't have an answer on that one. It's just also frustrating when stupidity is just so easy, and then it translates into meanness and uncaring, which is kind of where we are as a country. The idiocy has translated into meanness and a lack of caring and a whole lot of cynicism. I'm a proponent of a healthy amount of cynicism. You gotta ask questions, but Jesus Christ, not when your entire epidemiology is a Google search. Anyway, so 2 dumb statements over the weekend that just point to our democracy and our culture falling down the toilet. Yay, Monday!